The school bell rang and all the students went to their classes. Zeke, like the other children, headed towards the school. It was Zeke's first day at school. He had never been to school before. Zeke was 15 years old and his father was a woodcutter. The father and son lived in a remote village atop the hills. Zeke had been helping his father break the wood since he was a child. His father would take the wood to the city and sell it to provide for their living expenses. They also used the wood to heat their house. Due to financial hardship, the father had not been able to send Zeke to school on time. Although he always wished for his son to be literate, Zeke loved working with wood and helped his father with enthusiasm. He was skilled at sharpening axes and cutting trees. But Zeke had no friends and had never been to the city. He had only been in the village since birth, collecting firewood. One day, his father told Zeke that he intended to send him to the city for schooling. Zeke asked, "What is a school, father?" His father smiled and pointed to a red building at the bottom of the hill and said, "That's called a school. You will go there and study. With education, you can acquire more skills and find better job." Zeke, who didn't really understand what his father was saying, nodded and said, "Okay." He had no idea whether there could be a better job than cutting trees and collecting firewood, as he had never thought of any other profession before. Zeke went to school and sat next to the other children. The teacher entered the classroom, and all the children greeted the teacher, and Zeke did the same as the others. The teacher said, "Today, we are going to share our dreams and goals in life with each other." Zeke had never heard the words dream and goal in his life before. His father had only told him to go to school to learn new things. The students stood up in order and shared their goals and dreams. One wanted to become a pilot, another wanted to become a doctor, another one wanted to become an engineer, and another one wanted to become a police officer. But Zeke had no aspirations. When it was Zeke's turn, he remained silent. The teacher asked Zeke, "What is your dream, Zeke?" Zeke replied, "I don't know what a dream is." The whole class burst into laughter. The teacher quieted the class and explained to Zeke, "A dream is something you want to achieve in the future, or a job you want to do in the future." Zeke was still standing in a daze. He had only collected firewood throughout his life and had never heard anything about goals or dreams, or something distant that he wanted to achieve. Now that he had heard the meaning of a dream, he decided to answer the teacher's question. Zeke said, "I have no dreams. I gather wood and move the firewood with my father. We work all day. We eat in the evenings and go to bed early at night, and that's all we do." The sound of laughter rose in the classroom again. Zeke had not lied, but the children were used to laughing at everything. They had never heard such a story before. The teacher told Zeke, "You must have a dream for yourself, because without a dream, you will become a purposeless person, an empty person who has no feelings towards life." Zeke pondered and still stood in his place. He still couldn't understand why the teacher insisted that he must imagine a goal for himself. These words were meaningless to Zeke. Throughout his life, he had thought that collecting firewood early in the morning and sleeping at night were the only things that could be done. Is there even any other work that can be done? Now they had told him that yes, there are other things that can be done, even tasks that have never been done before, and you must learn and do those tasks. The teacher continued, "Zeke, you must enter the path of life. You must work hard. If you continue to strive, you will surely reach your goal one day." Zeke asked, "What path? What goal?" The teacher composed himself and said, "A path towards your goals, a path towards your ultimate destination, somewhere that belongs to you." Zeke thought to himself, "Why are they asking me to work hard to reach a goal and destination that I may not even like?" They call it a goal and destination. They believe that everyone must enter a path to reach their goal and destination. But maybe I don't want to reach a goal and destination at all. I don't even know how long this path is supposed to be. Where should I know from? And if I reach it, how should I know if it is my ultimate destination or not? Should I stand at that destination? Or is it supposed to become boring for me after a while and I continue on the path again? Or maybe I should just turn back and go back to where I was before. I don't have the patience for such a long path at all, and I'm sure this path is not as beautiful as our house on the lush hills of the village. Is it necessary for everyone to move towards a goal? So what about people who decide not to have a goal? Is life meaningless for them? Maybe someone is satisfied with where they are right now. Well, they have already reached their destination, so why do they want him to stand up and move towards a destination that is unknown? The students, upon seeing Zeke's strange silence, started whispering among themselves. The teacher asked Zeke, "Do you really have no goal?" Zeke replied, "Yes, I have." The teacher was pleased to hear this and asked, "Well, what is your goal? What is your wish?" Zeke, looking out the window, replied, "I want to wake up early in the morning, go to the forest, cut wood, come back tired in the evening, have a cup of tea, and go to bed early at night." The teacher said, "No, Zeke, what you said is not a goal at all because you are already doing these things." Zeke replied, "Yes, of course. I enjoy doing these things very much. Maybe I have reached my destination a long time ago." The teacher became irritated upon hearing these words and told Zeke, "You must definitely choose a goal for yourself. Otherwise, you will have a meaningless life. Now go home and think about your future, about where you want to reach in the future and what you want to achieve." Then he dismissed the class and left. Zeke returned home and spent the whole night thinking about the teacher's words. He pondered the meanings of the words he had heard. Words like goal, wish, path, destination, and future seemed very strange to him. He had never needed these words in his life. But tonight, he had decided to think about them deeply. Morning came, and Zeke headed towards the red building of school. He attended class, and when the teacher entered the classroom, he raised his hand and asked for permission to speak. The teacher said, "What's up, Zeke? Do you have something to say?" Zeke replied, "Yes, ma'am. I want to share my goals. I thought a lot last night and was able to find my own goal in life." The teacher, surprised and pleased, said, "Really? That's wonderful. Well, Zeke, tell us. We are all ears." And Zeke said, "My goal is to greet the sun when I wake up tomorrow and thank it for the light and warmth it freely gives us. Whatever the sun has gifted life to all of us, but most people ignore it. Then when I wash my hands and face in the pond next to our house, I will thank the water that has made our village green and beautiful, and both the cows and I drink from it every day, and my father and I wash our clothes and dishes with it to keep them clean. After that, I will enjoy and gratefully eat my breakfast and go to the forest with my father. My next goal is to be careful on the way so as not to crush the beetles and insects of the forest under my feet, because they, like me, have the right to live and enjoy being alive. Then when my father and I sit under a shady tree to rest and have tea, I will ask him to tell me stories from his memory, like how he met my mother and where they went together. This way, I am sure my mother's spirit will also join us, and then I can feel her in my heart and tell her how much I love her. In summary, teacher, my goal is not to acquire things that I do not have, but rather to pay more attention to the small beauties present in my life at this very moment that I have not valued as much as I should." As Zeke finished speaking, the class fell into deep silence. Zeke's words had deeply immersed the teacher and the students in thought. I also ask myself, has a human being created to spend their entire life endlessly chasing things they do not have? Thank you for listening to this story. I would be happy to hear your thoughts in the comments. Until the next story, farewell.